she announced she was coming back, I was like, yes. So happy to have her.
David, I know you know Taylor McCabe quite well. She's a great sharpshooter from Omaha who turned into a sharpshooter down in Iowa City. Obviously just a tough ending for her and her career, but you know she's gonna sit on a Division I bench and be a great assistant coach one day.
I mean, you talk about somebody that, first of all, is incredibly smart. I mean, this is somebody who's majoring in engineering who has like a 3.8 or 3.9 GPA. She's going to get her master's degree in structural engineering. So, first of all, she's smarter than I could ever hope to be. So you got to give her a lot of credit there. But you also look at Taylor McCabe. I mean, you talk about the actual, now it's not traditional, but the old school route of playing Division I basketball. This is a girl who came in, one of the best shooters in the probably Midwest history. I watched her once shoot 27 three-point attempts in a high school game, which I thought was ridiculous. When I asked her about it, she said, that sounds a little low to me. And that sums up Taylor McCabe.
Taylor.
That sums up Taylor to a T, right? But you look at the way she kind of just rose through the ranks. This is a girl who 2 years ago I interviewed her before the NCAA tournament. She said, I felt like the team's donkey this year. Like, I'm always going to do whatever they ask of me. I will play any role. I will do anything that's necessary. But instead of transferring to a school, and she would have played Power 4 and been a big part of it, she stayed with the system. And this year, set career highs across the board. And when she was out there, teams played defense differently against Iowa.
Yes.
Her ability to move off the ball, go off a double screen, get the ball, and shoot as quick as anybody. And second of all, as efficiently as anybody in the program history, 39.7%. And on top of that, just a great human being.
Yes.
She stood the course. It was an unfortunate ending, but she deserves to be remembered very fondly and as a very integral part of Iowa's 2 Final Fours.
Yeah. Joanna, what is your favorite part about watching Jada Gyamfi?
Well, that's a great question. I have loved Jada since it's for a very long time. The first time we ever saw her play was in 5th grade, and she was a head taller than Hannah and had probably 25 pounds on her. Hannah bulked up in college. Jada was big and strong. She was so efficient when she was younger and just a great player. She went on through high school, got a 3-point shot. Unfortunately, her senior year, I believe it was, when she came to Iowa her freshman year, she had a concussion and sat out for a lot of the summer. And then she's been plagued with knee pain, and it just never, court time never came for her. But one thing I do and will always appreciate about Jada is anytime Hannah had an issue, struggles, sometimes as women we just need to cry it out, Jada was there. Every time. And that just was, she just kind of is the mother hen of the team and has taken care of these women on and off the court. And, a player like Jada is going to be missed because she's just the consummate teammate that's always got your back and cheering for you.
Yeah. Joanna, thanks for coming. We'll have men's hoops coming up next on Iowa Live.
Are you recovering from an injury or recent surgery? If you are in pain and need help, choose Ability Physical Therapy. We are expert practitioners who work hands-on with clients to assess deficits in strength, mobility, balance, and performance. We develop a game plan on how to effectively address the identified problems and educate clients on treatments through exercise. When you choose Ability Physical Therapy, you are choosing great care, healing, and future success. Providing rehabilitation at 5 convenient locations.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new, clinically proven Legzercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way.
After using Legzercise for a week, I felt like I wanted to go for a walk again without pain like I used to.
Legzercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
It's helped with the swelling and the pain. The tingling feeling is gone.
Call right now and order your very own Legzercise Pro, the clinically proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call now.
Aging Untold.
That's a hot button.
button for me right there.
A new one-of-a-kind show that shines a light on the real issues of aging in America.
It's really about health span, not lifespan.
It's honest talk with real solutions. Tools the whole family can use.
Whatever problem you're trying to solve it from a place of collaboration.
Aging isn't the end. It's a new chapter.
Isn't that the goal, just to age just as well as you can?
Aging Untold.
Premiering March 2nd at 3 p.m. only on KCRG TV 9.
Welcome back to On Iowa Live. We're on KCRG 9.2 on the app and KCRG.com. And thank you so much for tuning in. In just a little bit, we'll have the Iowa City West boys swimming team on. But first, we got to talk men's hoops with David Eickholt. And the men have had an interesting week. It's kind of been the good, the bad, and the ugly all in about 7 days. A head-scratching loss to Wisconsin. Badgers' Nick Boyd had 27 points. And the reason this is a head-scratching loss, David, losing to Wisconsin at Wisconsin isn't something you're going to bang your head against the wall about, but it was the complete opposite of how they beat Nebraska. We'll get to the win and go over to Nebraska in a second, but Iowa's defense was just Swiss cheese. It was perhaps their worst defensive performance of the year.
I mean, it just reminded me of the Green Bay Packers defense toward the end of the year once they got injured, right? I mean, everybody was scoring on them. But I also think you just think about it from this standpoint. It was, like you said, the polar opposite, because when you look at Iowa, they had every starter in the first 3 minutes score a field goal besides Bennett Sturts. And what happened in the Nebraska game? Nobody could score but Bennett Sturts, right? But now you look at kind of what happened, how everything unfolded. You had Austin Rapp, a 6'10". He's a good shooting big for Wisconsin, but Nick Boyd and that first step and that second step sort of quickness, I think when you look at over the course of the year, you look at Keaton Ragler from Illinois, you look at, a couple guards from Indiana. Iowa has struggled with the guys who have a quick first step, and Iowa just does not have the post presence or kind of that rim protector. And that was an initial fear that I had before the season. I think a lot of us had before the season. How are they going to protect the rim? Not so much in the post-up game, but when you can't front a player on the perimeter and you have 3 or 4 different shooters, across three-point line, eventually the defense is going to break. I thought Iowa, for the most part, their transition defense is horrible, mind you. But when you get in the half court, I thought Iowa's defense is good for about 22 to 24 seconds, but at some point it's going to break. Against Nebraska, it did not. Against Wisconsin, you really wish you had about 20 to 30 possessions back, honestly.
Yeah, and this backdoor cut right here from Wisconsin. At that point, Iowa was within 3 points, but that kind of sealed the deal for Wisconsin, and then they went on their run. Bennett Sturts wasn't bad with 23 points, and the offense was solid overall, only turning it over 9 times. You score 71 points. I don't know how many games you win scoring 71 points. It's not 0%, but you'd like it to be a little bit higher. Like I said at the beginning, I don't think you're banging your head against the wall losing at Wisconsin. A lot of Iowa fans would have said, if we're going 1-2 in that stretch against Purdue, against Nebraska, and at Wisconsin, that's not terrible. But where do the Iowa men kind of go from here?
I mean, one, you're spending extra time in practice saying film, and you're practicing the rotations, right? The thing that I think bothered Ben McCollum the most was just transition defense. I mean, again, Nick Boyd did everything he wanted to. I mean, it's his 6th year of college. He should probably know how to control a basketball game. Finished with nearly a triple-double, but every time he kind of got in transition, every time he had the ball, he commanded Wisconsin's offense really well. And I think the one thing that really bothered me about the way Iowa was playing defense, the players who are supposed to be versatile 6'7" to 6'9" sort of guys, they weren't guarding the perimeter well. I mean, Nolan Winter did whatever he wanted to as well. Again, Austin Rapp did whatever he did. It wasn't so much like Purdue, where you give the ball to 7'4" guy against a 6'9", 6'10" guy. What do you think is going to happen? It's like Zach Edey against the rest of college basketball, right? But at the same time, too, I just think you need to get back to the basics. I don't think you can panic, because I think if you lose to Nebraska, you're panicking a little bit. The Nebraska win was so critical in securing kind of Iowa's seed line for the NCAA tournament. This team's going to make the tournament, okay? I know some people are really worried about that. Iowa's going to make the tournament. But you look ahead. You got another game against Nebraska. That's a really difficult place to play. You play Michigan, and I'll tell you what, I would not want to play Michigan after losing to Duke, because I think Michigan's the best team in the country, despite that loss. I think as long as you kind of go in there, you beat Penn State, and you maybe you beat Ohio State, I think you're feeling really good about where this team should be headed to the Big Ten tournament. Just get the double bye in the conference tournament. worry about everything else later.
Yeah. The good for Iowa obviously came last week when they beat Nebraska, and on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, they were able to guard so well. I was really impressed by Bennett Sturtz's defense on Price Sanford. What was Iowa able to do in this game that they couldn't do against Purdue, and they certainly couldn't do against Wisconsin?
Kind of remind me of the Iowa women yesterday, honestly, again, because Nebraska's they don't have a traditional post. They play a lot of four-guard lineups. They all can shoot. And, again, Price Sanford is going to be an all Big Ten first-team guy. I know Iowa fans don't want to hear it, but that just goes to show as a compliment to Bennett Sturtz. Bennett Sturtz, to do what he did offensively, play all 40 minutes, he ran nearly 6 miles in that win against Nebraska. Never got tired. He said he could have went to overtime. And, again, Ben McCollum's not going to pull him if he's not in foul trouble. But, again, you think about Price Sanford, the quick release he has, all of the action that they sort of run for him. You need to give Iowa's defense a lot of credit. They were quick with the rotations. They were contesting everything. And, more importantly, they were battling on the boards because Iowa will be the first to admit they got punked against Purdue. But Iowa at one point led the rebounding battle 17-4. They had more offensive rebounds than Nebraska did total rebounds through the first 17 minutes. So I think when you can control the controllables, you hustle, you rebound, you close out on shooters, you kind of get all those minor details right that won't show up in the box score. That's what's going to give you a chance. Because, again, I know people scoff at Nebraska basketball. This is a team that's a team that's going to make the second week of the tournament, very likely, and they've never done that before.
Quick question. This comes from Eugene. It's a good one. Is it a concern that we are having trouble finding second and third shooters on the men's team? It's a good question. I think it needs one word: consistent. Cooper Koch has had good games. So Alvaro Folgueras has had really good games. The problem is consistency, and these are good role players who are good in their roles, but at some point you have to put the ball in the basket. Who are you looking for more consistency from?
Yeah, first of all, I'm not going to sell stock on Cooper Koch. I know some people are, kind of going off the bandwagon. This is a guy I'm telling you, next year, junior year, he's going to pop off. I think there's two guys that I really, really look at. One, it has to be Alvaro Folgueras. Okay, Alvaro was the big-time transfer from Robert Morris. He was wanted by a lot of different teams. This is a guy who is, again, I think he's a 3-level scorer. He's going to play 15 years overseas in the pros if he doesn't make the NBA. Like, this is a 6'10" guy with great post moves that can step out to the three-point line, be highly efficient, very fundamentally sound, can dribble, he can pass. At times, I think he gets in his own head. He turns the ball over a little bit too much, kind of gets careless. But it kind of reminds me, in a way, from a similar jump perspective, where if he comes back next season, it's going to be very similar to Filip Rebraca. Not a lot of people were about Filip Rebraca after his first year. He got thrown in a difficult situation. But that jump he made from that first to second year, I'm really, really optimistic that Alvaro can do the same exact thing.
And anyone else you're looking at for Iowa?
I mean, I think there's a couple guys. I mean, of course, I like to look at Tavion Banks. I'd like to look at, Cale Combs. I think you want to see more, but it has to be Tate Sage.
Yeah.
Like the freshman 6'7" guard out of Oklahoma. This is a guy who barely got a scholarship to play at Drake. He's barely a D1 recruit. But you look at the way he cuts to the basket, especially against Wisconsin. I thought he did a tremendous job of that. He's hitting corner three-pointers. He rebounds the basketball. He's got great length. I don't know during his 4 years if he'll ever lead Iowa in scoring. But you talk about hustle, you talk about effort, you talk about guys that are just fundamentally sound and glue guys to be at that championship sort of level and to get to that top 4 seed. You have 3 or 4 different guys like Tate Sage. And again, I'll point to Isaiah Howard. He's the same exact way. Doesn't show up on the stat sheet. Tremendous all-around player. He's going to get there. You got to give him more time.
All right, why don't we go ahead and hit the gridiron next as the NFL Combine's coming up this upcoming week. It's on Iowa Live.
Everyone needs a good surprise. That's the idea behind the KCRG TV9 Surprise Squad. Each month, we're surprising someone in Eastern Iowa with a $500 check. From people facing hardships to everyday heroes making a difference. For rules and to nominate someone, go to the Surprise Squad section of KCRG.com and the KCRG mobile app. Then watch us give them a surprise to remember and share a story that will leave you inspired.
KCRG TV9 Surprise Squad, sponsored by Community Savings Bank.
The time has come for another KCRG TV9 Athlete of the Week.
Here are this week's Boys Wrestling nominees: Cooper Hines, Jessup, Egan Fleshman, Al Burnett, Loudon Bloxham, Cedar Rapids Prairie.
Vote for the athlete of your choice, and we'll announce a winner on Wednesday during our 10 p.m. sportscast. You've worked hard to become the best. Now it's time to showcase your talent as KCRG TV9's Athlete of the Week, sponsored by Cedar Rapids Toyota.
Everyday Families, only on KCRG TV9. We know how busy you and your family are, so we bring in local experts to discuss the latest products and services to help everyday people in our community. We'll talk about home and lifestyle conveniences to improve the lives of you and your family. Catch Everyday Families in the mornings throughout the week on KCRG TV9.
I'm Greg Reiniga of CertaPro Painters, proud sponsor of Everyday Families.
Next time on the Goldbergs.
Just give it up. I was here first. I will make this my home if I have to.
Not the pants.
Just like home. Good luck to you, buddy. This is what victory looks like.
Oh, my God.
Tomorrow at 5:30 on KCRG 9.2.
Welcome back. We're joined by Ben from Elite Fitness. Ben, what different training services does Elite Fitness offer to people to help them meet their goals?
Yeah. So we offer one-on-one personal training services. We have small group or classes available at all of our locations. Then we also offer our speed school program.
And what's the difference between these options and how do people benefit from them?
It can be a little overwhelming. So the one-on-one is going to be for anybody that's looking to get started or advance. Maybe they've stalled out in a program, just looking for new ideas to take it to the next step. The small group and classes, motivation and the good peer pressure to continue to show up and the accountability. And then the speed school program is going to be for athletes looking to become more explosive and take, again, their on-field performance to the next level.
And how can someone schedule these services?
EliteFitnessIowa.com is the place to start with that, and then we can help direct you to the best option for you.
Thank you.
Yep.
To On Iowa Live. Welcome back to On Iowa Live. All right, everybody can hear me now. Let's talk a little bit about the NFL Combine, followed by the NFL Draft in April. It's hard to believe it's already this week. I jokingly call it the Underwear Olympics because these guys aren't in pads. This is not as important as what we see on the field and in the game film. But it is important. Several Iowa guys were invited. Let's start with the defensive end of the football. Iowa known for defense. Who, on the defensive end, has a chance to really improve their stock by what they do at the Combine in Indy?
By the way, I love the Underwear Olympics line because it reminds me of the NBA Combine. I don't know why they measure guys without shoes. Are they playing barefoot? It's kind of dumb to me. Anyway, I think when you look at Iowa, it has to be Carson Shire. Okay, Carson Shire is a guy who I think lacks sort of the film outside the past year, but you look at what he did against Diego Pavia, which I think that you could hear the nation roar after that first sack on Diego Pavia after the month that he had. But you talk about a guy who gets sideline to sideline, I think, very quick. I think he's very good in the run blitz. I think he's a very good quarterback spy. But not a lot of teams know about him. You know, he's a very high-character guy. Phil Parker and Seth Wallace have raved about him. It's just a guy who, first of all, he doesn't want to talk to us. Right? He'll want to talk to NFL teams. He will want to let his game do the talking. He's the definition of that. But again, it's a guy who, again, lacks a little bit of film. I think he can play well in the pass game. I think he's an outstanding run blitzer. I think he's going to have to sell himself a little bit more than he's going to be comfortable with. But as far as being able room to grow and room to gain, I think his upside is maybe a 4th or 5th round NFL draft pick. I think if he had one more year where he started for Iowa, you're talking down the line of like Josie Jewell, like those guys who kind of go mid-rounds, but they carve out a very nice NFL career.
Yeah, I think a problem for Shire was that he was just injured too much. Yeah. But on his top-end film, you're looking at like a Tasmanian devil. If Jack Campbell was your – he's going to be in the block, making the right play, fundamentals. He's, a first-round pick. Carson Shire is going to be running around looking a little crazy, but once he hits you – good luck.
He wants to take your head off.
Yeah,
like, let's just call it what it is. Like, that's a guy – remember Luke Kinkley? Yeah. Like, that's a guy, when he hits the gap, you don't want to meet him there because he's looking to take your helmet off, stand over you, and tell you, look, I'm better than you. I dominated your line. I really hope you just sort of cringe every time you see me run through that gap. Throw it away, throw a pick, do something. He's that sort of guy.
Let's flip the ball and talk offense a little bit, specifically offensive line. Which linemen are you looking out for in Indianapolis?
I mean, again, room to grow and room to gain. I think you look at Bo Stevens. You talk about, I think, the nation's top run mauler. I mean, again, you talk about George Barnett, first of all, has completely flipped the offensive line for Iowa. I know a couple years ago people wanted him, to kind of kick the curb and for Kirk to bring in another guy. Kirk trusted him and his resume and his process, and everybody in that room loves him. Bo Stevens, his footwork, his pad level, his upside. This is a guy who got to Iowa and squatted over 525 pounds. He's a weight room freak. He's going to do very well in the underwear Olympics. But you talk about a guy, again, he'll hit that first level. He'll get to that second level, put him on their back. And again, he will flex on you. He will probably spit in your face. And he's going to tell you, I hope you're on the same thing again. It's like Larry Bird when he called his shot, or Babe Ruth when he called his shot. I'm going to do this to you. There's nothing you can do to help yourself. That's Bo Stevens in the run game.
Well, you heard it here first. The next Babe Ruth or Larry Bird is Bo Stevens, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. I'm excited for Bo Stevens
Clip
as
it.
well.
We'll come back to it in a couple of years when he's in the NFL Hall.
Just a mauler. His Wisconsin tape, you're going to have offensive line coaches across the NFL loving that. And I think anyone who just kind of gives Kirk Ferentz a call and says, hey, what about this Bo Stevens guy? It's the same thing for Logan Jones and Jennings Dunker. All Kirk Ferentz has to do is give his stamp of approval. That might be one of the best stamps of approval that you can get in the college game. You give Kirk Ferentz, you get a Kirk Ferentz stamp of approval. I think you're going to play in the NFL, at least for a little bit. Let me ask you one more question, David. I'm curious because at least a couple of guys we thought might have gotten invites didn't get invites. Who on this from this Iowa roster who could be possibly playing in the NFL you think might not get drafted, but teams are going to regret it? Maybe like Jay Higgins from last year.
I mean, first of all, Mark Gronowski's show went to the Combine. Like, regardless of how you feel about his passing, he's the nation's leader in wins at all time. I don't know if he'll ever be topped. It has to be Aaron Graves, though. Aaron Graves, the fact that he did not get a Combine invite, it's flat out insulting when I look at the list of other players that got the list, right? Aaron Graves got an offer at 14 years old from Iowa. He committed on the spot. He is an athletic freak. He is one of the best people you will meet. This is a guy whose firstborn son, his son was born 20 hours before the Nebraska game. He said, all right, honey, I love you. I'm going to go make sure I did not travel, leave my son to go lose to Nebraska. He went there. He won it. Plugs the gap very well. Is an athletic freak. Is a very big locker room guy. If you don't draft Aaron Graves, I don't know what you're doing. Again, the fact he was not in the Combine, he started 26 games for a Calvin Bell coach defensive line. It's a little bit crazy to me.
Yeah, I think Aaron Graves, he might not be jumping out of a pool like Tristan Wirfs did, but he is an athletic freak. And I think I said this last week with Madison, but it's ironic. Those two people who didn't get invited to the Combine, you have Mark Gronowski and Aaron Graves, those are like all-star interviewers. If an NFL GM talks to them, they're going to be blown away. So I don't think either of those guys are getting drafted, but I think both of them will make at least a practice squad. Mark Gronowski, he might not even be a quarterback at the next level.
He's just a football player. He's a winner, right? And it's funny that you say he might not jump out of the pool. Aaron Graves literally did jump out of a pool to take the scholarship offer from Kirk Ferentz. He was giving swimming lessons at like his local YMCA or local aquatic center. But, again, those two guys, you get high-quality humans. They're productive players. I think they're going to carve out a role. And guess what? Worst comes to worst, to get on the practice squad, I'll be on the practice squad for $300,000 a year.
Yeah,
I'll do all right.
It's certainly not a bad living. David Eickholt joins me from 247 Sports and CBS Sports and Insider. And, David, thank you so much for joining me. Everybody give it up for David. We're going to have the state champion Iowa City West boys swimming team coming up. Iowa Live.
Pickle Palace. It's a place where you can come play, celebrate, or simply head outside and elevate. Look good from there? It looks great from here. Come check it out. Pickle Palace.
School doesn't have to look the same for everyone.
I chose Empowering Excellence because of the amazing staff and it supports my lifestyle.
At Empowering Excellence Charter School, students ages 14 to 21 learn in a way that fits their lives.
We're not here just because we're here. We're here because our services are needed across the state and our students deserve a chance of success.
Earn your diploma while building confidence and real-world skills. Because your path to success should be as unique as you are.
I'm Jason Knapp. Home Appliance Center is a proud sponsor of 9.2 live events.
Local and live events are right here all season long on KCRG 9.2. Don't miss the action.
On the next Jason Show, it is a full hour of hot dish, the hottest topics we can find.
Tomorrow at 2 on KCRG TV 9.
Pickle Palace. It's a place where you can come play, celebrate, or simply head outside and elevate. Look good from there? It looks great from here. Come check it out. Pickle Palace.
For being the second largest city in the state, we are a very, very safe community.
New data show crime declining for Cedar Rapids, pushing back on social media posts complaining about crime.
At the end of the day, they are posting something on social media where they don't have the whole story.
Watch Ask 9 as we break down the facts and what officers are focused on next. Stream Ask 9 weekdays at 5:30 or on demand anytime in the KCRG apps for mobile and smart TVs.
Classic KMRY 1450, delivering your first alert weather.
Welcome back to On Iowa Live. Joanna Mance and David Eickholt joined me earlier today. Stay tuned for our 2-hour social media pages for clips from earlier in the show. But we're going to finish off talking swimming with Byron Butler, the head coach of the Iowa City West boys swimming team. I should say state champion Iowa City West boys swimming team. I know, yeah, give it up for him. Coach, I know you won the state championship back in 2020. None of these guys were in high school at the time. Took a break for a couple years, and then you came back. How exciting was it to not only come back, meet a new group of kids, but also win a state championship?
Oh, incredibly exciting. It was definitely a learning process for me the first month or so, just getting back into it and meeting some of these guys and reconnecting with some of the upperclassmen. But yeah, it was just awesome to put it together with this group.
I asked you what it meant, so let's talk now about the how. How do you win a state championship in swimming? Because it's a grind, because it's in the pool, week in, week out, month in, month out, and it all comes down to what, 11 races?
Yeah. So it's really hundredths of a second if you look at the stats. First thing I have to say is my contribution is incredibly minimal. I have an excellent coaching staff of Gavin Cole-Phillips, Coach D, and Dylan Krakow. Upperclassmen really held things together for us. We just had a lot of early mornings, a lot of late nights, really dedicated group that really care about each other and wanted to swim well for each other, and we were lucky to have an opportunity at the end to get it done.
I remember coming to this swim meet, and I thank you so much, Coach, for chatting with me, for doing this story. All these hours in the pool, the folks watching at home and the folks here might not realize it, but it's not just swim practice after school. How often are these guys in the pool, in the weight room, working on their diets?
Full training program, these guys are probably going 15 to 20 hours of actual training, but if you include the meals, the transportation, getting good night's rest, all their studies, all the planning ahead that it takes, to really put it together and be an elite athlete, you are talking 25, 30 hours a week. It's a lot.
A lot of the best teams, not just in swimming, but in every high school team, they not only have great leadership from coaches, but they have fantastic leadership by example. You're talking about those upperclassmen, those seniors. How did your team exemplify that, leadership by example?
Well, we have a whole bunch of upperclassmen that really know how to work, and I think the underclassmen definitely fell into that too. It's really different than the club setting, which we're lucky enough to have a lot of kids have that influence. But they really know how to come in and work hard in the weight room and the pool, and maybe we fine-tune things a little bit for the high school season, but those upperclassmen definitely set a great example.
Now, at the state meet, I know it was a lot of fun for you guys. You got off to a great start with the 200 medley. Ethan Landon, Jack Tunwall, Winston Fan, and Oliver Mikulski swam that race for you. The medley, can you break down who is doing what and how that race set the tone for you guys?
Yeah, well, our strategy was a little bit different than they had last year. I think last year we stacked or put our 4 best guys on 2 relays and then maybe fell short on the 2 free relay. This year we kind of tried to spread out our top swimmers and then also have a couple of great legs from guys who we had confidence in. So, Ethan kicked things off. I, still think he's the best backstroker in the state. Jack threw down a great 26 mid-split for us, kept us in the running against 3 fantastic breaststrokers in that heat. And we kind of knew if Jack was even close to those guys, Winston was going to throw down a great fly. And Mikulski, maybe with the shocker to me, we call him Newman. So Newman threw down a 19.9, which is a pretty spectacular thing to do in the pool.
All right, we are going to have there we go. We are going to have the rest of your team coming up next on Iowa Live.
If you're looking for a clean gym with state-of-the-art equipment, Elite Fitness is the place to be. Whether you're looking for personal training, group sessions, or speed training, our Elite Fitness staff can work with all skill levels from beginner to advanced. We even offer RMR testing to help find the right fitness plan for you. Signing up has never been easier. Visit our website to start your membership and book your session today. Or stop by any of our 4 24/7 locations. Become the best version of yourself. Become who you've always wanted to be. Become Elite.
We're not just any gym, we're Elite Fitness, open 24 hours, 7 days a week.
KCRG 9.2 Live, your community in the best way possible. The only station committed to live broadcasts of Eastern Iowa events. Only on KCRG 9.2. It's your home for live wrestling, football, basketball, graduations, volleyball, parades, and more. Check local listings on kcrg.com/9.2 to find your provider. Proudly sponsored by Home Appliance Center, Hometown Restyling, I'm on Communications, and Wall Collision Center.
These are just a few of the over 500,000 happy Audien hearing aid customers. They now live a better life because they hear better. And they hear better because they purchased a full pair of Audien Atom 2s for only $189. The Atom 2 is a tiny, nearly invisible over-the-counter hearing aid. They've got unsurpassed sound quality and only $189 a pair. And so easy to order. Call Audien.
1-800-211-7960.
Big stories break every day.
Let's get right to our breaking news this hour.
And now, every weekend.
Very active scene that you're seeing behind me.
Local News Live is everywhere. Straight from local reporters and meteorologists, tracking the big stories on their streets and what that means for your plans and your safety.
Residents are taking this threat very seriously.
Local News Live, your nation, your neighborhood. Weekdays and now on weekends. Always streaming, always free.
Welcome back to On Iowa Live. We are joined by the state champion Iowa City West boys swimming team. And for the 2 gentlemen on the mic, can you introduce yourselves and tell me what year in school you are?
My name is Winston Fan, and I'm a senior at Iowa City West.
And I'm Hudson Huberg, and I'm also a senior at West.
Well, congratulations on the big win, guys. This was in kind of not exactly your home pool, but certainly your hometown. I know you had a lot of fans there. So, Winston, no pun intended, can you tell me what it felt to lift that trophy at the end?
It felt amazing. I mean, this group of guys, I wouldn't want it to be with anybody else. We've been working really hard all year. And we had this goal of winning state since the beginning of the season. We knew it wouldn't be an easy goal to achieve, but finally accomplishing that at the final swim meet, winning by 4 points was definitely a crazy task, but lifting it up was a lot of stress lifted off the shoulders, yeah, for sure.
Same question, Hudson.
I think it was great, and I mean, we couldn't have done it without everybody, all the coaches. It was just a great season, and everything just fell through. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So the other relay you guys won that I didn't mention in the opening block was a 200 free relay. Hey, why don't you, if I say your name, raise your hand real quick. Oliver Mikulski, Link Ortman, Winston Fan, and Hudson Huberg. I know you 2 are there. So congratulations on winning that specific race. That was huge. So Winston and Hudson, you guys are both on the mic. What's it like kind of anchoring a hard race like the 200 freestyle where you got a lot of high-level guys on every side of you, basically?
Yeah, you can't really think in the moment. It's years of dedication, and just throughout the year we've been working on relay exchanges, making sure that we're safe off the blocks, and we're just the fastest to the wall. And Byron said over and over at practice that me and Hudson, fastest 2 legs to finish a relay, and we just built our confidence through each practice. And just getting up there at the final race, you can't really think, just go, and the adrenaline pushes you.
And I fully agree with that. you put in all the work all season to just get up on the blocks, and you just don't have to think. You just go and you do what you've always practiced.
So you guys, if I'm not mistaken, you correct me if I'm wrong, won 2 races. Neither of them were individual, and yet you still won the state championship. That tells us what, Winston?
It just tells you that we got great depth on this team, and we've had guys step up throughout the year, making the state team and qualifying for state, and then placing at state was huge. And we had guys like Nikolai and Jack step up when we needed them the most. Shout out to Jack's 100 breaststroke, clutched us to meet. But it was moments like that brought the team together, and those relays just brought the momentum, and we just carried it through.
Yeah, Hudson, on a similar note, a very important part of this whole thing is what you do out of the pool to cheer on your guys who are not necessarily finishing first or second. It's fourth or third. How big was that? Did you guys lose your voice too, in addition to being very sore?
I mean, for sure, but just cheering on everyone and being with a team, it's really nice just not swimming on your own and swimming for the team. It makes it so much easier and so much more fun, and it just helps everyone get going too. It's a lot of fun.
I know swimming's hard. I know Coach Butler was telling me about it. Those long days, long nights, it's hard on your diet, it's hard in the weight room. What keeps you guys coming back?
I mean, like Hudson said, it's the friends and the family that we build throughout the year. You got the freshmen coming in, and after 2 weeks, we're already bonding like crazy, and we're going to team dinners, team meals, and we just have so much fun at practice, and it's just, we make memories every single practice, every meet, and that's what brings us back.
Same question for you, Hudson.
I fully agree with that, and then just the goals that you set at the beginning of the season. I mean, you work so hard every day, and you're just dedicated to reaching those goals. So that just really keeps you coming back every day and keeps you focused in the water.
Yeah, Winston, I wrote your name down because before you guys, before the 100 breaststroke, you guys were behind Linmar, and then you helped your team take the lead. I know you always want to win every race, but what did it mean to come out in third in that event, look up and see your team in the lead? You never relinquished that lead.
Yeah, Jack definitely put a lot of weight off my shoulders. Him moving up places scored us a lot of points that we didn't think we would have. I knew to have a really crazy race against Sam Weaver and Andrew Seifert, who are really fast dudes, and so I knew I just really wanted to get top 3 at least, and that was my goal. And when I saw I touched third, I was not the happiest, but I wasn't disappointed, and I knew that we had finished strong, and we had to finish the 4x1 relay really fast. So.
Yeah. One more question for the two of you. You got West Chi kids and Liberty kids. What does it mean for the two rival schools to kind of come together and be what you guys call the Trojan Bolts?
Since Hudson's from Linmar, I'll answer that question. But I mean, it's definitely, we definitely have an advantage having help from Liberty, which is a huge public school. But it's also setting aside our differences, and I know we're big rivals, but when we come together and have one goal in mind, it's pretty easy to work together and become family. And if we can do that, we can achieve a lot more. And so I think that's what our goal was this year, is to be one team, be goal-oriented, and to have fun.
And Coach Butler, are you coming back next year? Because that's a good start.
I keep saying that, yeah, we'll just give a thumbs up. Yeah.
Thumbs up. So the future is looking bright for the Iowa City West boys swimming team. The Trojan Bolts, I should say.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, but I'm planning on coming back next year.
All right. Guys, I really appreciate you all coming up. Everybody give it up for the Iowa City West boys swimming team, the state champions. Thank you so much to my producer, Aaron Rooney, and my director, Mike Gerken. Thank you all for coming to On Iowa Live.
It's On Iowa Live, where we talk sports. Proudly sponsored by Ability Physical Therapy, Elite Fitness, Empowering Excellence Charter School, and Pickle Palace.
Unleash your business's full potential with GDN 360, Gray Digital Media's newest omni omni-channel solution where streaming TV, display, and video ads, audio, even gaming all work together in perfect unison. Our marketing experts know how to get your brand noticed here in Cedar Rapids and everywhere they watch, building one seamless strategy to find new customers and get results for you. That's the great digital media difference. We know local. GDMEasternIowa.com.
You'll want to stay home if you can. We're talking several inches of snow with snowing and drifting.
We have a first alert day to tell you about.
Winter. It can be a challenge, but you'll always know what's next.